This is how I made over $6,000 betting on sports in 2023. Welcome and thank you for watching. Today we're going to be going into my betting history, how I've turned things around, and look at my bets this past year and understand how I've been so profitable, what sportsbooks I'm using, what bets I'm taking, all of that. Really jump into the main reason that I've been so profitable, and that's the OddsJam software and tools that provide you with mathematical data to help you bet better on sports. Okay, so let's get into it today. Basically, my name is Trevor. First of all, I'm 24 years old. I live in Canada. I've been betting on sports for about 5 years now. Obviously, when you're betting on sports, there's tons of different polarizing figures in this space. People selling their picks, selling software, just basically shilling their strategies and their winning slips. But for me, betting on sports came from just a passion of loving sports, watching sports my entire childhood. And so I wanted to profit off of something that I enjoy. If I'm going to be watching games for multiple hours a day, I might as well be profiting off of it. Easier said than done, as I'm sure a lot of you guys understand. Maybe why you're watching this video is betting on sports is kind of a losing game. These sports books, they have millions of dollars put into their odds and their algorithms to make it as lucrative and efficient for them as possible. And so this is why I want to make this video. I'm a passionate sports bettor, and I want to give insights and help to this community to hopefully, beat the books. That's, at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. So let's jump into my screen share and I can go over basically how I've done this year. We can look at a little bit of my stats here and then jump into the OddsJam software. All right, so we'll quickly look at my stats this year just so you know that I'm not talking out of my ass and that I actually have the stats to back it up. Not trying to brag. This is strictly just to show you that I actually have used the OddsJam software. I've been betting on sports and I've had success, right? So as you can see, just over $6,000 in profit this year. I've wagered about $100,000 over the last 3 months since I've been tracking and using OddsJam. My profit margin is about 6%, which is fantastic. 78% beating CLV, meaning 78% of the time I'm locking in odds and placing a bet at a better number than what the closing line is, right before the game starts. So awesome data that you can see with all your bets if you do track them with the OddsJam bet tracker. But yeah, so that's basically just to show you how I've been doing. This last month in May, I've been traveling all around Europe, so I've barely been placing any bets, and I've actually, I've actually lost a bit of money in May, obviously just $300. But as you can see, I started tracking in March, had an incredible 10-day stretch in March there with $4,300, and then April, another $2,100 in profit. So this is, just to show you how it works. But basically, what OddsJam does and what it has changed for me specifically is it looks at betting on sports in a different light, right? So when I was 18 or 19 years old and I started betting on sports, it was strictly either I thought a specific team was going to win, or in some way I felt like I had an edge on the game, which of course I didn't. All these lines have everything priced in, and I'm not smarter than the books or the algorithms they use. And then the other reason I would bet on sports is because I'm watching a game with my friends and I want to get some money down on one of the sides so I can root for a team. That I still do that, right? That is still just a fun thing to do. It makes the game more enjoyable, and basically I'm paying for that sweat, that enjoyment, the adrenaline. And so I wouldn't recommend against doing that. That's just something that is fun. It's not actually profitable long term because I'm just picking a side to enjoy the game. I don't actually have an edge, right? So what OddsJam does is it finds you a mathematical edge. And how it does it is it basically looks for value on a specific sports book in comparison to what the actual odds are of something to happen, okay? And so I can quickly get into what that means and why it works, but it's positive expected value betting, right? That's what it is. And so let's look at this Padres line as an example here, okay? We're getting plus 155 on Bet365 here, okay? So plus 155, that is basically the best odds that you can get on the Padres run line. As you can see, if you look through all these bets, the closest thing is about 145, okay? Right? You can see all these sports books in the world. The closest is 148 on low vig. Needless to say, this is the best value you can find. But it doesn't mean that you're just going to take bets just because you find the best odds on a specific sports book. That's line shopping, right? You can do that for any bet. At any time you ever place a bet, you should be line shopping. You should be looking on multiple books to find the best value, because if you don't do that and then you switch and then you actually start to do that, immediately you're more profitable because you're getting more value per bet, you're getting more money back per bet, and so you're going to be more profitable. But what positive expected value betting is, it's not just finding the value on a specific sportsbook and taking it because it's higher than the others. It's using a no vig calculator, which basically means it's a way of removing the tax or the vig that sportsbooks will put on a specific bet. And so to keep it simple, a sports book, if there's two sides and each one, and they're both 50-50 chance to win the game, a sports book will never price it at even money. They will price it at minus 110 and minus 110, or minus 115 and minus 115, meaning regardless of the outcome, the sports book is going to take their portion, right? They're going to take their cut. They don't care what happens. There's, unless tons of money is on one side, they mitigate their risk, right? So there's always a vig or a tax placed on these odds. So what the no vig calculator does is it finds the odds from the sharpest sportsbook in the world, Pinnacle, right? It doesn't just look at those odds, but it takes those into account, and then it removes the vig from it and gives you a number that actually represents a correct basically percent for something to happen, right? So the percent for the odds to actually hit, for your bet to hit. Okay, and so these odds here are the no vig odds. So after these have been turned into the vig, the taxes sportsbooks take, they will remove that. And so these are the true odds, the fair odds for this to actually happen. Okay, and so it takes those odds and then basically compared to like the mathematical percent for something to happen, it will then find you value on a specific sports book in comparison to those. So for the Padres to actually, like, a fair odds for the Padres to cover this number today is about plus 150. And as you can see down here, there's not a single sports book that gives you that number except for 365, and they give you 5 cents above that. So this is about a 2% play, right? It's a profitable play because you're basically saying, okay, the sharpest sports book in the world is offering these lines. Let's remove their tax, and this is actually what the odds are to hit. And then you find a sports book that gives you better odds than that, and there's your value. So OddsJam does this for you, right? You could do this on your own if you wanted to use calculators and do all this. OddsJam does it for you, and it makes it super easy. If you look at this, I wake up every morning, I come on here, I find bets, right? I look at it, okay, boom, on Fliff, go place it, right? And you can use this, you can use the filters, so you can only select sports books that you have access to. And so then this just becomes a part of your daily routine where you come in here, you find bets, you place them, you go back to work. An hour later, you come in here, you find the bets, you go back to work. And OddsJam allows you to track it in here too. And that's how you found all of this data on their bet tracker, like how I can actually show you how I've done, is because I've been tracking my bets with their bet tracker. Needless to say, this software provides you with mathematical reasons and profitability in the long term, right? That is the most important thing. It's getting your mind away from, okay, I'm betting on this because I think this is going to happen, and now you're betting on it because you know that if you do this 1,000 times, if you get your bets up to this amount and your total stake high, you can count on a profit margin percentage, which then turns into an actual amount of profit, right? And so obviously you might have negative stretches where You're placing the proper bets. They're profitable, but it goes the other way. And that's totally fine. That is a part of plus EV betting. The thing is, manage your bankroll properly. I'm sure we'll get into more videos about that, but you have to make sure that you're not going to like blow all your bankroll in 2 days. So manage it properly and stay consistent. Don't let these negative stretches get you down. So let's just look at my April here really quickly, and then I'll end the video. I had bad day, bad day, bad day. You know, I lost about $1,000 in 3 days. If you were to give up after that, I would have missed out on this massive 1.6 day here, right? Like, you can have terrible stretches, like lose 448, then win, but then lose 754, lose a couple more days, but then you've got green days coming out the other side. So you have to stay consistent. Don't let the variance get you down. It's all a part of the fun. It's a part of the process. And yeah, so that's what OddsJam is. That's how it works. There's a bunch more tools on here that I can get into in future videos. But for how I've actually made $6,000 in 2023 betting on sports, it's using the OddsJam software, using their Plus EV tool. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, if this may have opened your eyes into what Plus EV betting is. You can use that link in the description to get your OddsJam subscription. You can get 30 days money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't work for your schedule, if you don't like it, you can get your money back, no problem. So make sure you use that link down below. Subscribe for more videos. We're dropping tons of videos on this channel, and we'll see you guys soon.